Hi,
Hi.
how are
I hope you can
you?
hear me properly. I'm doing great.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly as well. Beautiful. Thank
Thank
you.
you. I'm so excited. I actually did my hair and makeup today by myself, so
Wow.
kudos to
Thank you so
me.
much for giving me the time, for giving me your time and everything that you have prepared for this interview. I really appreciate that. Let us begin with you introducing yourself to all of our viewers and those people who will be watching this in the future as well.
Yes, of course. Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I am Karla Guilfu, Miss Supranational Puerto Rico 2021. And I am naturally from a small town called Patillas, Puerto Rico. It is located in the southeast area of the island. And it is a really small town. So where I'm from, everyone knows each other. Both sides of my
Oh,
family is from there. And I had the privilege and the blessing to study in a school that was bilingual. So that's why I actually know English so fluently because I learned it from such a young age. Besides that, I started playing volleyball since I was a little girl, since I was in fourth grade. So I pretty much identified myself as a student athlete for most part of my teenage years and my early college years as well. Thanks to volleyball and sports, I had the opportunity to have a athletic scholarship for my college. So to this date, thanks to volleyball, that scholarship is still paying my studies, in my master's degree as well. Besides
wow.
that, yeah, I mean, I will always be grateful for what sports have, given me on a personal level and obviously, in the studies academic level as well. Besides that, in 2018, I had my first experience being in a beauty pageant. It was actually a teen pageant. And I was not necessarily interested, but I saw that so many people wanted me to, participate. They saw a potential in me. And I, for the first time, had like this, space and time to do something besides sports and studying. So I was like, you know what, let's try it. Let's see what could happen. So I started in this beauty pageant in 2018, and it was such an amazing experience. It changed the way I saw beauty pageants completely, because before that, I actually saw beauty pageants, you know, like this superficial thing or not necessarily something that you could learn so much from, and grow so much as a person from. So after that experience, I always knew I was going to, come back at some time to the pageantry world, but I was not sure when. I just started focusing again in my studies in my last years of playing volleyball in my college. I also had the opportunity to play professional level here in Puerto Rico. And besides that, in 2020, last year, in January, I also did a teacher training in yoga. So I'm actually a yoga instructor currently.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, as you can see, I've done various things, really diverse. So that is something that describes me. I love trying new things. I love, getting out of my comfort zone to see what I am able to do. And I'm so grateful for that. After that experience as the teacher training for yoga, I started teaching during that summer. The pandemic, started. So then I started my master's degree in counseling psychology, which I'm currently working on as well. And during that pandemic year, I received the amazing news that I was going to be the new Miss Supranational Puerto Rico. And I was like, oh my God, I was not expecting it at all because, like I said before, I was concentrating at, my studies, yoga, since I recently graduated from that as well. And I didn't see probably space for anything else at the moment. But when I received the news, I just had to believe that it was part of my divine plan, part of God's plan for me to continue growing as a person and challenging myself to see what I am capable of. So, yeah, this is who I am.
Thank you very much for sharing all of that, and I'm so proud of everything that you've shared, especially of your educational experience and how your love for sport was able to fund your education. I believe it sends a great message to the young people out
Hmm.
there that they could also finish their education even through sports and in
Yes,
doing things that
definitely.
they love to do.
Definitely,
Because
yes.
right now, because there, especially in my country, people usually use poverty as a reason for not finishing school. But
Oh,
because
right.
of your experience, and I believe it is also available in our country, that many
Hmm.
people can finish their studies through scholarship, through sport, and I believe they can use that to help
Yeah.
themselves graduate and finish school. So thank you so much for sharing that. And about your story of being chosen as Miss Supranational Puerto Rico, were there any other choices, or what do you think are the reason why they picked you as the representative?
Well, like I said, in the experience I had in 2018 while being in a beauty pageant, although it was a teen one, a lot of people in the pageantry industry here in Puerto Rico got to know who Karla was. And, they saw the potential in me. They knew I had to, in one moment or the other, I was going to represent Puerto Rico on a international level, but in the Miss category, and they were always, paying attention to me, what was going to be my next move and everything, but I never went to any casting or to any interviews for, for me to be in any other pageant because, like I said, I was concentrated in other things. But I always knew that people were paying attention to, for example, my social media. Well, what was I doing? What was I studying? What was, my passions? If I ever saw myself in a pageant ever again, and I remember Valeria Vasquez. Obviously, you know who she is. Uh,
Yeah, I have actually read her comments that they're not going to just send anyone to Miss Supranational. I have read that, Valeria, and now that I know that Valeria is part of your selection, well,
yes.
I kind of have believed now, and I truly understand the reason why they chose you. I mean,
Yeah.
she's been there. She won.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember that like in 2019, not a lot of people know this, but I remember she wrote me in a DM and she was kind of like reaching out to me for me to go to the castings and try to participate in Nuestra Belleza Puerto Rico, which is the pageant that's, goes on here in Puerto Rico to choose various queens, in them being Miss Supranational. And I remember I told her, thank you so much. I mean, it means a lot coming from you, that you see the potential in me, but I was just concentrated in other things. And I believe just, the universe and God took care of, making everything work and waiting for the perfect moment so that I was going to be able to be in this amazing pageant. And that's why I truly, truly believe that not only this was the perfect moment for me to go to an international pageant and represent Puerto Rico, but for me to be in this exact, pageant, Miss Supranational, because I really, really identify with what they represent and what they do. I really love that I'm here and that I'm experiencing all of this, beautiful journey.
Well, very good. Thank you so much for that. And before they chose you as Miss Supranational Puerto Rico, are you already familiar with Miss Supranational as a pageant?
I didn't, of course, I didn't knew Miss Supranational pageant because, especially because when Valeria won in 2018, um, as she being a Puerto Rican queen, everyone, including myself, I, started trying to figure out what was Miss Supranational, what they did, what they're looking for, and yeah, I loved it. I loved that they chose Valeria as their queen because I know her personally and she's so authentic, she's so fun. And knowing that they were looking for that, looking for people who are real, that they want to send a message and they're not always in this, paper of I'm perfect, a queen and everything. And I love that. And that's why I instantly identify with it, but I never thought I was going to be in it, like necessarily. So I was familiar with it, but of course now that I'm an official candidate, I read more about it. I ask more questions to what they're looking for, and try to get to know the dynamics that go around the organization in general for me to do my best there in Poland.
Very good. And I'm pretty sure that there are tips that they have given you about Miss Supranational, and there are tips that probably you cannot share. But if there's one tip that you can share and you consider valuable, what tip would you like to share to us?
To you
Something
mean
that you have.
Yeah, you mean
Oh,
like
I'm
tips?
sorry.
You mean tips like they have given me for me to, take with me to Poland and for the competition?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. One big tip or advice that they have given me is to always be, charismatic with everyone, talking with everyone, engaging with people, connecting with people, not only the candidates for the organization as well, just everyone around me, because you never know who's there. And not necessarily just because they might be judging you every time, but because being like that, being with that energy is like contagious. It's good to bring that energy into any room or any space, and that is something that says a lot about your person. So I think that's one of the best advice that they have given me, to enjoy the moment and always be myself, because I'm actually a really fun person and I love, always be laughing and smiling and connecting with people. That is really my thing. So I will not have a problem with that.
Thank you for sharing all of that. And of all the preparations that you are undergoing so far, that you've been through so far, what has been your favorite part, of all the trainings that you've been through?
Hmm. I would have to say, actually, practicing the hair and makeup. And it's kind of like funny because before this experience, I mean, I know I was in a pageant in 2018, but back then I always had a makeup artist with me, doing the work and them doing everything, the hair, the makeup. Um, and when I finished that experience in that pageant, like I told you, I was always focused in sports and my studies, and I never, had to worry about how my makeup looked or how my hair looked. I was just always, really laid back and comfortable going everywhere. So that is not actually a thing of mine. It's not something that I dominated before this experience. So taking the classes with Adriel, which is my makeup artist, and who teaches me, weekly, for me to, get better in this aspect. So I'm really enjoying that part. He's taking that artist out of me. So I love it.
Thank you. And now, for Miss Supranational, they have this tagline, aspirational, inspirational. So let's focus on the aspirational part first. I know you have already achieved so much in life, but what else do you aspire to be?
I would normally answer this question saying all my goals that I have in life, all the things that I would, that I want to achieve before, I don't know, certain age or anything. But to be truly, truly honest and answering from my heart, what I do aspire is to always be present, to enjoy the present moment, to find happiness with what I already have, and not always thinking, oh, I'll be happy when I get this, when I achieve that, when I do this or that, because then that happiness will never, come or come to you. So I am always trying to shift my attention and my energy to what I do have in the moment, what I can do in the present moment. And I aspire to always be that kind of person. And it is a real challenge, because we have been conditioned to believe that happiness and success is in the future, and it's not in the here and now. And I think we as a collective can start changing that paradigm or that way of thinking, and realizing that what we have at the moment is just the real happiness, and we have to find that at the present moment, depending of our perspective, changing our perspective.
I really love how you think. I mean, the way you responded to this question is something that I didn't expect, but I love it. Thank you very much. And that's one thing that I truly adore about this. It's that we're getting some different perspectives from
Mm-hmm.
all of you candidates and as a person as well. So thank you. Now, for
Thank
the
you.
inspirational part, I'll be asking two questions. Who inspires you the most? Who inspired you the most? And how do you think you could be able to inspire others through your life story?
Super. First off, I would have to say that I consider we can find inspiration everywhere. We can find inspiration in a person. We find ourselves today walking down the road. We can find inspiration in nature, connecting with nature, connecting with other people, connecting with your family, listening to music, watching art or doing art. Whether it is, what you find inspiration is, it is really a diverse thing for everyone. But if I had to choose a person, I would have to say she's a woman. She's called Dr. Nicole Lepera. She, in Instagram, is found like the holistic psychologist. And I love her because ever since I discovered her, she has helped me not only understand more about myself and about my conditioned self, if not and but as well as other people around me, and help other people around me as well with her teachings, the tools that she gives through this amazing platform that we call Instagram. And I really, really admire her and find inspiration in her, because I actually see myself one day doing things like she does. Obviously, with my unique taste and with my unique thing, but she is this woman that I always think of like, wow, I want to do the things that she does. So I'm thankful for her. Now, in terms of how I think I could inspire other people, it's definitely through my actions. It's definitely through the things that I do with my own, path, journey, day by day, the discipline that I create for me to achieve everything that I want, for me working with myself every day on a personal, emotional, mental, spiritual level, academical level, in every way that I can really put the energy to work with myself. That automatically inspires other people, because that's happens to me. When I see this woman and I see how long she have come, and the way that she shows herself so vulnerable to other people, to help other people, I definitely think that's the way I will inspire others as well.
Very good. And thank you. I mean, those are two amazing answers to my questions. I appreciate that. Now, something comes into my mind because Puerto Rico just won in 2018. So
Yes.
I'm not really sure if you have been receiving this feedback from other people, but as a beauty queen, there are people who gives you positive commentaries and sometimes negative commentaries as well. But how would you react if someone tells you that you will not win because Puerto Rico just won in 2018? I mean, just recently, or just basically, you will not win. How would you react to that?
Who are they to say, to say such, you know,
I love that.
yeah, like no one really knows what will happen at the end of the day. We, as official candidates around the globe, we have to stay focused on ourselves. We have to challenge ourselves to see what we can better in different aspects to give the best representation of our countries there in Poland. So I don't think, of course, Valeria winning in 2018 is like this really big thing. Maybe there's going to be various opinions saying that, oh, well, Valeria won in 2010, not necessarily Karla has the chance of winning in 2021. But, we have seen other beauty pageants and we have seen what it can happen. A same country can win 2 times in a row. A same country can win sometime and the next year be first finalist. And all of this can happen. So we don't have control. We just need to, focus on what we can do at the moment and give our best. And then the God, universe, and obviously the organization will choose the best winner. And I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy just making sure that I gave my best at every moment. And for me,
Exactly.
that would be perfect.
Because as you give your best, I believe you can never disappoint yourself and the people who
Mhm.
truly believed in you. And yeah, I just decided to ask that question because, especially as a candidate, many people are, especially you as a candidate, I'm pretty sure that you are also receiving those kind of feedbacks, those kind of commentaries. And I love your answer. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you
And
for
knowing
asking.
Miss Supranational, I agree. I mean, they are the kind of pageant who truly reward the most deserving ones. So, very good answer. And I've
Thank
also
you.
asked this question to other candidates as well. As a woman representing your country, you are expected to inspire young women. But in your case, how can you inspire young men?
Young men. I would have to say, with what I speak in every moment, when I have the opportunity to speak up about struggles and situations that not only men, but people in general uh, go through in society. And as a queen and as someone who is in this amazing platform that many people actually listen to me, I have to take this, privilege that the society or the universe has given me to speak up about what every people, no matter their gender, go through for at the so at the end of the day we can all live in a better society and a more empathetic and united society.
Thank you. And let me just use other pageant as a reference. Um, Miss Universe 2019, Zozibini Tunzi. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with her.
Yeah.
When she won, her victory sends a message that they have broken the barriers and the prehistoric definition of beauty. If you win Miss Supranational 2021, what do you think is the message that they're trying to send?
I would have to say breaking the barrier of choosing a woman who is able and who is not able, but like who is down to, speak her truth, to speak up about what is going on in society, not trying to please anyone, and to always focus on her and her people, the people around the globe. When there are situations going on in a country and I know I can speak up about it, I will do. I will not wait and see if maybe other beauty queens are doing the same or if it is something that will be accepted. No, if it's something that I can do, that it's in my hands, I will stand up and do what I can. So I would, if I win, I think it would be not the first, not necessarily, but one of the few, beauty queens that actually doesn't have fear of using her voice to speak up about important issues going on in society. I think that's actually my purpose, being in these amazing platforms. So I will never deny that part of myself, my essence, to do what I was brought here in this amazing world to do.
Very good. Thank you. Now, um, let me ask you another question. If ever, why do you think? I mean, this is more of a common question, but as what I always say, I really love this question because there's so much into it. But why do you think you should be the next Miss Supranational?
Wow. I should be the next Miss Supranational because I identify completely and genuinely with what they represent. You know, this aspirational, inspirational message that they portray is definitely who I am, you know, in many parts as a person. So having the opportunity to be in this amazing platform would mean the world to me. And I would do everything that is in my hand to, you know, send a message of love, of unity, of compassion towards yourselves and other people. So as a collective, we can keep growing and keep evolving as a society. So that's why I think I should be the next Miss Supranational.
Very beautiful, thank you. And also to continue that question, how do you think will your life change if ever you'll win Miss Supranational 2021?
If I if I ever win, wow, it would change dramatically. It would change everything, you know. I think probably things that I had in mind that I would be doing, I don't know, next year's or the few years ahead, well, that would probably change a little bit. Something that will not change is my purpose, my passions, and the love I have for educating others and sending, you know, this important message about creating awareness about how important our mental health is, you know, seeing it from a holistic uh, focus, you know, and I would use it like that. And that won't ever change. Of course, many other plans will probably change, but it would be amazing to have that opportunity.
I mean, it's great to imagine that already, and it would be.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure if ever you'll win, you're going to represent the organization beautifully. And Puerto Rico is one. Let me say one of the powerhouses, especially with your rise, not only in Miss Supranational but also in other pageants. So
Hmm.
knowing Puerto Rico as one of the powerhouses, does that put a pressure on you, or do you consider pressure a good thing?
Yeah, I love, you know, I love knowing that from my country, many strong and powerful women have been able to win these pageants around the globe. So it's kind of like, you know, I'm proud that I'm coming from this small island from the Caribbean, but we have done so much internationally. So yeah, I don't see that pressure as a bad thing. I see it as something that motivates me to do better, to challenge myself, to work harder, and to give my best to everyone. And to, you know, when I'm in Poland in the competition, uh, you know, participating with the other candidates. So yeah, it's a motivation to me.
Thank you very much. Because I'm very glad you are thinking and looking at it that way. Because of course, sometimes pressure is a good thing too, right? It
Hmm.
really motivates us to do better and to be better. And just few more questions. Once you arrive in Poland, what's the first thing that you will do?
Oh my God. Let just start talking with everyone, connecting with people, of course, enjoying, you know, this beautiful place that I'm about to get to know for the first time. I have never been to Poland. I've been to Europe before, but never to Poland. So, you know, getting to know this new culture, all of these people that I have been seeing through social media, seeing them from the first time in person. What I would just want to do is to just getting to know them, like talking and taking pictures, enjoying everything, and of course being focused on what I have to do. If we have activities or anything coming up, well, you know, getting ready responsibly to give my best representation. Always enjoying every moment.
Exactly, that's the main thing. Focus more on the experience and enjoy the moment, as what you have said earlier. And have you also connected with some of your fellow contestants already? Talked to some of them, and if yes, who? And are you all? I'm not pretty sure. I'm not sure if you're doing this, but are you also checking other contestants and like, this is a strong one. This could be one of my competitors. Are you doing that as well?
Well, I have to be honest. First, of course, I have been talking to many, candidates going to Supranational as well. The first one, I remember the first one that I spoke to was Miss Supranational Panama,
Hmm.
Darelis,
Darelis Santos.
Darelis Santos. Yeah, I remember she was the first person who I spoke to on Instagram. I just literally went to the DM, hey, I'm Miss Supranational Puerto Rico. And yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. And I was, besides her, you know, I talked to Danelle Thongs. I think it's her name. She's from
Trinidad and Tobago.
yeah, yeah. I remember I wrote her. But I mean, I have written to many girls, but really we have, been connecting all of us together because we actually have a group chat and WhatsApp where we're all there and we, send messages. So actually, if we're going literally, I've been connecting with all of them. But personally, I have been talking to a few of them, through my Instagram or WhatsApp, just to, show them some love and show them how excited I am to get to meet them. In terms of, watching other girls and seeing, the competition, I kind of leave that to my team. And they kind of like say, oh, this is a great candidate, or this is, like your competition or whatever. I'm not, because I don't, this is part of who I am as a person. I don't like seeing other women and saying, oh, she doesn't have this, or she's like that, or judging when I don't even know them in person, and everyone is beautiful in their own way. Everyone has something to offer in this world. So I kind of like to leave that to my team. They say, names or countries and all of that stuff, but I try to focus on myself, what I can better, what I can work on, and where are the areas for me to, work more to give my best representation.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that. I enjoy listening to that answer. And thank you for being honest as well. And I have said this many, many times as well. And this is what I love about interviewing candidates. Because me, for example, we are doing our leaderboard. We are just usually basing it on the pictures that we've seen, on the very few clips that we've seen. And even this interview, it is already showing us more. Although this is
Yes.
still a very small part
Hmm.
of you as an overall person and as a contender, but it still gives us more than just the pictures. So I'm so thankful that we have this moment to know you, and hopefully many people will be able to see this as well. They could be able to know you more as a contender. And for my final question, what is your message to the people who will be supporting you and will be cheering for you until the finale of Miss Supranational 2021?
Oh my God, I want to
In your
give,
hopes,
yes,
in your hope to be the next, to be the
yeah.
second winner from Puerto Rico.
Yes, I just want to thank you all for always supporting me, for always sharing my content, showing love, and believing in me, believing in my potential to actually win that second crown for Puerto Rico. I just fill my heart with so much gratitude because without you guys, including yourself, Alvin, this experience wouldn't be the same, And I love that while I'm during this journey, I can have all of you by my side, cheering me up, saying that I can, be successful in this competition. So I truly, truly have to thank you all for what you guys do and for all the support. So yeah.
Thank you so much for that beautiful message. I truly appreciate that. So those are just my questions for today. And thank you so much. I mean, we've been here for 40 minutes, but time flew so fast. But
Hmm.
thank you so much. And I truly enjoyed this moment. Thank you for your time and for all the preparation. I mean, look at you, super beautiful. And you've done that yourself. Oh yeah, well, your makeup artist must be very proud
Yeah.
because you have learned so much. So again, thank you so much, and we will be cheering for you. We will be keeping an eye on you. It's less than 2 months, and you'll be on your way to Poland.
Thank you so much, Alvin. And I know you were a little sick, so I really hope you get better. And
I
thank you all
thank
for
you.
thank you all for connecting with us today.
So thank you very much, and I really wish you have a good day. And as what I have said, we'll be keeping an eye on you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.